Well, it's live streaming on that.
You don't have any warrants or anything.
No, we checked that.
We go home and watch.
Check that. Dan, sorry, I was reading Matt beat out 6 other applicants for this part-time position here. It comes from Franklin, and we're very happy to have him on board. And it just, from the timing of this event, we just happen to have a meeting, and I don't think we've had an opportunity to actually swear in a new officer with an audience. So, so we welcome him to our team. We look forward to hopefully sending him to the part-time school academy in February.
Okay.
So, and I'll let Pat do her
raise your right arm.
official duty.
And repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Matthew Bowers,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as public safety officer
as public safety officer,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
and that I will abide by and enforce
and that I will abide by and enforce
the rules and regulations of the town of Waterville Valley
the rules and regulations of the town of Waterville Valley
and the Constitution and laws of the state of New Hampshire.
and the Constitution and laws of the state of New Hampshire.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Right.
My license plate is.
Thank you very much.
We can sign this.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Very happy to be here.
Good to have you.
Oh, 12,
Sure.
11?
It remains 3.
All three.
All three.
First race. First race. All right.
It always makes a nice little scene.
Yeah, there's a lot of pictures.
A lot of pictures right there.
And you need to sign it.
All right.
Okay.
Good. All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Matt. We'll see you.
When do you start?
We're going to talk about that now.
Well, I'll see you later tonight.
Do you need a uniform?
All right, we're going to call this regular meeting of the Selectmen to order here at 3 o'clock. And we're going to start with the privilege of the floor. Is there any, Pat, you have anything you want to share? No?
No,
Okay.
not this time.
All right, good. Approval of the minutes of November 26th.
I've got a couple of little things.
All right,
John Fontes' name is spelled wrong.
okay.
Whereabouts?
In
Oh, there.
privilege of floor, paragraph 2. I don't remember in the department head thing in number 5 that we were told the programming, the general program position was filled.
Yeah.
By a couple
We
Plymouth
were.
State
Okay.
students.
I just,
Yeah, a couple of PSU
I didn't-
students.
okay, I
Yeah.
didn't get that.
Yeah.
And on number 7, it should sit, Margaret had suggested that we get another estimate, and she specifically suggested the Ford dealer, which is neither here nor there. But what it says, the way the paragraph ends, it says the BOS felt as long as the repairs came in at 8,000, the work should be done, no motion was needed. But should it be reflected that we wanted a second,
Well, you did want the second opinion as long as if it was higher than the,
oh no, I understand
Yeah.
what you're saying here, but I don't think that's what it says.
well, no, I think you ended up, didn't
There
they
was
make
no-
a motion?
no,
They
there
didn't
was
make a
no motion.
No, there were, either way,
All right.
you
You're
can.
just
However-
taking this out of the regular expense budget
Yes.
for this year. I
Right,
don't
right.
think it's necessary.
No, it's not.
Right, that we have a motion other than we
Okay, I-
suggested they do what they do.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all I have.
Okay. Margaret, did you have any
No, I did
changes?
not.
How do you spell John Fontes' last name?
FOUNT.
FON. No, it's
FONTAS.
FONTAS.
T-A-S. Thank you.
And I think it's JON. I do not believe it's JOHN.
Was wrong on both counts.
Well, consistency is important.
All right, so do
Let's
I
try.
hear a motion to accept the minutes as amended?
So moved.
All right, all those, I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Financial update.
As I explained in my memo, I did not provide a financial update today. On Friday, you're going to get a line item by line item review of every department.
Mhm.
So I've been working on that. I have not updated the financial report. So that's the way I've done it the last couple of years. And
That's as part of the
budget discussions for
budget
next
discussion.
week.
You're gonna
Yes.
have year-to-date
Friday,
2013.
you'll get everything as of Friday right up to date. But this will be more detailed than your usual annual or weekly review that I give you. It's gonna be
Right.
line item by line item. So that's why we don't have that today.
Okay. But pretty much everything is,
Everything's on track, yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Department head updates?
We have a couple, Jim can get started, I think Rach, is she in today? She was gonna come over. I can handle it if she. if
She's
she
in?
can't.
And she's back. I don't know that she's
Okay.
coming.
Jim,
Okay. Meter pit installations.
Fan meter pips, yes.
Meter pit installations got off to a rocky start, but the
Cold start.
cold start, yeah, cold and wet. And work on that has ceased until springtime due to obvious conditions.
Did they get done over at,
There 5 were installed.
okay?
Several
32, is that?
39.
39. And yeah, there was all kind. It was interesting.
They
So-
did not finish at Windsor Hill. There are 3 more remaining at Windsor Hill, right?
Okay.
I don't know if you've noticed, but the new tanks for the wastewater treatment
We
plant.
heard last night on
Oh,
the light show tour,
Mhm.
the tank went in yesterday,
Well, the old tank came out,
come out, right?
and they're pouring the pad, hopefully tomorrow, the 2 pads that they'll have to set in. They'll set over the weekend, and then they'll begin installation of the tanks probably on Tuesday.
On the 2 coldest days of the year, we're gonna pour the cement, right?
But we knew that because the roof had to come off.
Right, the roof had to come off.
So
Yeah,
Murphy works on every job.
wow.
And did we hear a story about the crane being taxed to his capacity?
We heard it. I guess he was taxed a little bit getting the old ones out, so they had to cut the tanks. The older tanks were, for one reason or another, heavier than the ones that are going in. Probably because it still had some sand and anthracite in it or something.
Mhm.
But they caught them and got them out. So
But they're out, and they're gone, or,
I think there's
It's
something over
probably
there.
sitting there.
okay?
And that's about all I can think of. Unless you have any questions.
We have been going through some salt, and the guys have been plowing quite a bit.
Yep.
It's unfortunate. I mean, the storms, just the way they're happening, can't even really call them a storm, but
No, but it's enough
that-
to make it a nuisance, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
nuisance,
today,
you
I
know,
mean,
get treated.
It's just
I was out in the valley, it was sunny in
Yeah, it was-
Plymouth.
I was in Concord, it was beautiful.
Really?
Yeah, right, yeah, even in Plymouth, the
Yeah,
sun's
and
out.
coming
Yeah.
back here, as soon as you hit, 2 miles
Campton,
on 49.
yeah, all of a sudden the clouds over and
It's
snow.
interesting on the radar. It shows like yesterday, nothing. If you go on the Burlington radar, there's nothing. If
Right,
you go on the Portland radar on the west side of 93, there's nothing.
right.
As soon as it hits 93,
It hits the mountains, a little comes down, yeah, right.
Well, I was gonna congratulate Jim on getting that second solar light working, because I had been by many times at night and it was on, but last night when I went by,
Yeah, it was off again.
It's off again.
Yeah. Can we get an update on the solar light, please?
It was working.
Yeah.
It was working,
And I know,
yes.
I did notice that the other night when, was it Monday night, I think, when I was here, that it was out again. I've called the company. And we'll
It's
get it-
amazing,
we'll
because
get
the
it
other
straightened
one,
out.
you know,
No
it was like,
problems
you put it up,
whatsoever.
no problem whatsoever. Yeah.
Is the batteries are enough to go a couple of days,
Oh,
right?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Power at all,
Yeah.
right?
We had an initial problem with the motherboard inside the unit, and they sent us a new one, and we put that in, and I'm not quite sure what the problem will be this time.
All right. Well, while we got you, why don't we talk about dumpsters?
Okay.
You want to replace a bunch of dumpsters? Or?
We are in need of replacing some dumpsters. We have some of the dumpsters that were out and about town, the bottoms have fallen out.
Okay.
And some are in disrepair. Really, some of these are beyond our ability or our facility to take care of at this point in time during the year. I think the best course of action would be to replace them. And I think that during our budget discussions, I think this year, we should have the conversation about getting on a program where we purchase several dumpsters per year and start rotating.
Mm-hmm. Are there, do people make dumpsters out of materials that are inherently will last longer than the ones we're using, or not really? Or
It's a good, well, you can, because of our unique situation where we need bear-proof dumpsters,
right.
this is probably the only way that we can go, and it's one of the only manufacturers close by where the freight wouldn't kill us. I mean, there are manufacturers out west who make,
But they're to the
bear-proof,
same specification.
basically. A little heavier, actually.
Okay.
Making them out of steel is not a great idea. We prefer plastic,
Um,
or plastic covers at least, but we can't do it.
Right.
Do we still have money in our budget
We
for the recycling center
We
that we haven't expended on dumpsters?
Yes.
So,
My-
and do any of these dumpsters fit in with your master plan of replacing and upgrading dumpsters when we originally came up with budgets for the recycling center?
Yes.
Okay,
Not,
so there's a little bit of crossover here, but not a lot from your town.
yeah, about 50% probably crossover.
Okay.
So you're looking for 11, you want to buy 11 new dumpsters now? That's what your
Well,
recommendation is?
I'd like to buy 2 immediately because we have the 2 that are totally gone that we've had to actually remove.
Well, where are you
Yeah.
in terms of this year's operating budget? We haven't had that discussion.
We haven't had that discussion. We're actually putting those numbers together for Friday right now.
I mean,
but
can
we're
we
looking good.
absorb 18,000?
Yes.
Why, if we could, why would we not buy them now? Give me,
We should buy them now.
Oh,
I
okay.
would buy them now. That's what I was telling you in the memo.
oh, okay.
I was saying that buy the 2, because we definitely.
I'm sure they have a
the
sale on Black
2800.
Friday or something.
Absolutely.
Is there dumpsters or us?
We could look that up online. But the $2,800 in my recommendation was the 2 that we need right away. And then when we get to the last week or so of the year, we'll look at the budget and make sure that we have the other 16,000. And then I would take it out of the operating budget this year. Then we can go back, like Mike said, when we review the CIP with you next week, we can have a
And we could elect next year to take it out of fund balance to use it to buy it anyway.
That's
I mean,
correct.
other than we'd have to decide it at town meeting.
Yes.
Well, all things being equal, I guess I'd still say we ought to go ahead and buy them now if we definitely know we need them. I mean, right?
Is that
Right.
okay, Mike?
Yeah, it is, I just, minor
As
question
long
on
as
the
you're-
process.
Comfortable
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
these are all
absolutely.
bad.
And that's
I mean,
why I wanted to wait on the other
Right.
9.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy the 2 right away because I'm very comfortable on that.
Right.
But wait on the other 9 until the last week of the year, and then we can get them on order.
Have we given any thought, and I'm sure you probably have, Jim, but just to appease my mind, to rotating dumpsters, taking some dumpsters that are in fairly good shape and not being used a lot, and, moving, say, some that don't need to be replaced but aren't in great shape, to an area where there's not a lot of traffic,
Low,
and
lower.
rotating them so the ones,
Yeah, I think that'd be, that can work.
but you still have to lift them up every week if
The
there's
problem
nothing else.
being is, and it's, yes, you're absolutely right, we can do that. However, the caveat being is that some of the enclosures will not accept a larger
Yeah.
dumpster, so it makes the swapping and the moving around a
And
little,
really, it's not
a
the
little
use.
problematic.
I really don't think it's the use so much as it's the age. I mean,
Well,
the
yeah, we
ones,
do
the
have
ones
some,
that we've
yeah.
taken out of service right now are older dumpsters. And it's just the deterioration of the steel on the bottom where it sits on the ground. And
How old are they?
some of them are probably 10 years or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they pretty much set right on either pavement or concrete, and the moisture is there
Yeah,
all the
no, wet all
time.
the time.
They're wet
They're
all
wet
the-
inside,
the-
you get a scratch in them
Yeah.
and it's
The
gross.
biggest problem is wood ash.
What?
Wood ash.
Really? Why is wood ash a problem?
It eats the, it just,
So so we don't really want people dumping in their
No.
dumpsters a residue for fires.
no,
The best thing to
It's not a
do
good
with
idea.
residue for fires is to throw it in the woods, right? As long as the fire's out.
Oh, it would be eventually.
We have dumpster fires because people put them in
Yeah,
a paper
right.
bag and toss them in the dumpster.
Maybe we should at some point consider I don't know how to effectively to do it, but a communication to people about reminding them about disposing of ash, that particularly live ash, what's the best thing to, first of all, we don't recommend putting ash in the dumpsters if you can separate, and we ought to get somebody to say there's nothing wrong with putting ash in the woods. I mean, I would assume there's nothing wrong with it.
Would we get cited for anything if we encourage
Well, I don't
that?
know, that's what we'd have to
It's
ask.
in the national forest.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming, that it just dumping it in the forest is not that bad.
a lot of the dumpster enclosures, generally the different condo associations usually have a designated ash dump, a metal can.
And then what do you do with those?
I'm not quite sure what they do with them. We
don't take responsibility for
We
it.
try not to take responsibility. Every once in a while, if we are positive that you get into if you're going to send it to the landfill, typically you'll have to have it tested so that you can certify to the landfill that there's nothing bad in it, in larger quantities. So we only take small quantities that we know came from wood burning fires. We don't advertise that we take it, we'll just usually help somebody out.
We ought to, maybe you, at some point, I'd be curious as to what the town, in fact, would recommend that, people do with the leftover fire ash. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't dump it in the woods.
No, the problem that you have is if they burned wood that was painted or put anything else in their fireplaces, I mean, you
Could
could
get
get
contaminated.
contamination. That wouldn't be good. So we'll work with Chris and see what the state fire marshal's office recommends
Right.
and try to
I-
deal with it.
Do have half a crazy idea, which I'm gonna pursue, which is, I don't know why we couldn't, do something like Line-X the inside and the outside of these dumpsters, say up about 18 inches all the way around.
You mean like a tread?
Like they do with the bed
Plastic
liner?
treatment that you put in bed liners. And what that would do is it would protect from the.
Why don't we
from
try a
the,
couple?
Yeah, what do you got to
Well,
lose
yeah.
by trying a few?
Just finding a decent way of, an easy way to do it. I think that
Maybe we could take a
Can
couple
you,
of these.
spray that stuff on? Or-
you can. There's a product out there that you get for do-it-yourself bed lining and things like that. It may be worth a try to.
Maybe you want
to
to ask
do a
the
couple of
vendors
them.
who provide these things to see if they put it on for you.
Yeah, I can look into that.
Yeah, you know?
Okay.
Yep.
That's great.
One last thing on dumpsters. Is there any of these dumpsters that might be smaller than the dumpster that is now at the Silver Fox, so we could try to accommodate Mountain Meadow? Just a left field thought. Just keep it in your mind.
Oh.
But we don't want to downsize
Yeah,
the Silver Fox dumpster
Why?
because it gets full as it is on
Yeah,
the, on
we
the
try to-
holiday
yeah.
weekends.
we try to really, there are some 8-yarders out there that really should be 10s, but
Okay.
the space
I'll
can't
leave it to your-
accommodate it.
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to do, Mike. We'll look at that and see. Oh boy, that capacity is pushed right now.
Okay.
So what did happen on the truck repairs? Is it going to Thornton?
I haven't talked to
Oh,
Chris. I believe that the number that he got back was from the other
Yeah?
was higher, so
Okay,
we'll
just curious.
find out.
Anything else?
Okay,
Keep warm.
gonna try.
Rachel. So the pickleball is too popular, huh?
It's a little bit.
Got out of control.
We were over there last night. They were playing away.
They
right?
were.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. In case you just wanted should we tell her that she didn't win?
Well, she won something.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
the light
She was in the
contest.
runner-up
You're in the
category.
runner-up category.
Waterville
Well, I
Valley Recreation
Yeah.
Department had the best use of drop ceiling tiles by a municipal staff.
That's good. I like that award. I'll take it. We went to, usually we string lights on the outside where the garland was around.
Yeah.
And when Liz and I went to do it, we plugged in and every single strand of lights, half of them worked. And half of them didn't.
Oh, good.
So we said, well, I guess the outside is not getting lights this year. Well, thank you for the award.
You're welcome.
Okay, so pickleball is, kind of the big hit with the adult programs, and we started to run into some obstacles over Thanksgiving weekend where they were coming into play during the open gym times, which we've been allowing them to do. It's worked out really good for them. But on the weekends, now that the ski season is upon us, it's hard to accommodate both. So,
Yeah, I gave you your email.
okay. So pickleball times moving forward on the weekends. We have some scheduled during the December vacation week, and then in January, there will be select times on both Saturday and Sunday.
Excellent.
But we'd like to say no pickleball during the open gym times,
Yeah.
only on the weekends. They can still come during the midweek to play during the open gym times in addition to the scheduled pickleball times.
What you're essentially saying is that there's going to be two open gyms. You're going to set it. What is the open gym time where no pickleball is allowed? That's primarily for children?
So we have a Todd Open Gym, and
Right.
that's on Saturday mornings. Well, that runs throughout the week, but focusing in on the weekends here. Todd Open Gym is from 9:30 to 11:30, I think.
Okay,
11.
so there'd be no pickleball during Todd Open Gym
That's
time.
specifically for ages 7 and under.
Right.
So we don't even allow, any of the older kids to come in and play. Then we have an open gym, and that's all ages, pretty much directly after that.
Okay,
11:30.
Right.
11:30 to when?
To 1:30.
Okay,
And again, that they came during the Thanksgiving break and played during that time, but it really made it difficult for anyone else to play an open gym.
Okay.
So the gym was pretty packed and it just limited people to like a small portion of the gym. So we figured moving forward, if people do wish to play pickleball, let's select a time for it on both Saturday and Sunday, and that's when they can come in. Nothing else will be happening in there minus pickleball.
And there's been a request for a third court. Can you fit a third court in there?
We have 3 courts. We
Oh.
just need a third net.
Okay.
Can't use our imagination.
We have a tennis net that's set up in there, but it's not a pickleball.
How much is
net.
a third net?
160.
It's on the list.
Okay.
End of year
I wouldn't,
purchases.
right. All right, I would just from a standpoint, so you don't get howls about this, which you're probably going to get. I'd present it from the standpoint that you need to reserve the gym during certain periods of time on Saturdays and Sundays for toddlers and youths. And during those periods, it's just not practical to try to both pickleball and the rest. So you're going to set aside on those periods certain set hours,
Right.
and to try to accommodate more players. We're going to go through the process of ordering a third net, but we are going to have more restricted hours. To
On
try
the
to
weekends.
accommodate on the weekends to accommodate
And then every
everyone.
And then
weekdays.
one of the things that I had mentioned to Mark on specifically just on Saturday with the pickleball time, and again to try something a little different. And we did have people come in for open gym, see pickleball, and want to play. So it's some of our other property owners that are starting to kind of gain a little interest in it. Would be to have like select court time for it on just that Saturday. So the rest of the time, anytime we offer pickleball, it's pick up pickleball anywhere
Yeah,
we
but
come.
you could have to call and reserve a court
Right.
during those hours you're setting
So
aside for
from 2 to
pickleball.
4 on Saturday, but we'd like to charge for it.
And
I
as
think you're going
explained-
to have a howl. if you
Okay, I
charge
mean,
for
that's
it.
I guess what the
Yeah,
feed-
my
looking for
only
feedback
thing,
on
as
it.
I wrote in the memo, was to try to get them to have some kind of commitment to it, so that we didn't have people making reservations and then
Right.
backing out and.
I think a minimal charge for it is not a problem. I think maybe $10 for the court.
Yeah,
Is
and that was-
$2.50.
yeah.
And I think what you should also do is do what the athletic club does, is you can't make reservations for pickleball until the morning of that day. Because you're gonna have people that are gonna, well, I want it
That's
every
right.
every
Every-
Saturday from 11 to 1. I want it
Right.
for the next 6 weeks.
Okay.
Why don't you charge them if they don't show up? If they make a reservation.
Well,
and
I
don't
would,
show
you know,
up.
we'd probably just,
I'd
No,
carry
but
it.
she's saying instead of charging them,
oh,
charge them if they don't show up.
yeah, I think it might
It
be a little hard to
it
track
becomes a
track them
practical
down.
problem.
Oh, okay.
But
I mean, you got to
I think
track
$10
people
an
down.
hour
You
is
got to
not
get them.
outrageous.
Well, right now that what I set was $10
For-
for a team of 2.
Right.
Or 15 for like a team of 4, and I'm trying to adjust that.
I've heard so much from people who are doing this, that it's not costing the town anything to do this other than to buy these few nets.
Yep.
That charging to them is, we're charging for something that's not costing us anything to do. It's there, they've already paid for it through their taxes.
But you're charging
And-
for a premium.
Yeah, that's all.
It's not all the time
We're
you're
not-
gonna be charged, just
Right,
for these
it's
weekend
just
times.
the weekend time
Yeah,
on
but
Saturdays.
but why?
Because
Because we don't incur any expense, and that's,
actually,
It's
we
just to regulate it a
It's
little
to
bit more,
regulate
so
it. It's not to recoup costs. That's not the intent. The intent is, and I'm okay with $10 for the 4 people.
Yeah.
And it is so that they have a commitment to it.
Right.
And that's all.
And
That's,
the
so-
other thing that comes up is,
Yeah.
I've heard this from pickleball players from far and wide. The balls only have a certain lifespan. They don't
Very
last,
true.
so they have to be replaced. So this
Yeah.
is, if it,
we're getting a box of pickleballs a week now, so.
yeah,
it's true.
It is,
It's
we
true.
are. No, but
So
I'm just,
what is-
that's all I'm trying to do.
If somebody reserves a court and doesn't show up, why do we care?
Because we think that we're gonna get a lot of reservation requests in this 2-hour period. It's because that Saturday is going to be very busy, I think.
so you've
just
got
given her numbers.
basically 6 time slots available.
Exactly.
I dealt with that on the golf course where people would pick the best times. Then someone would come in and go, how come I can't go out and play? There's no one on the course. And I go, it's reserved. And then when they don't show up and the person's standing around, they're upset, I'm upset.
I mean,
And I'm in a propriety situation.
If we're not
So we
gonna
can
charge,
just
I
say
still
first
think
come,
we
first
need,
serve.
we need to reserve. They
Yeah.
still need to reserve.
Well, I
and-
think Mike's suggestion, you have to call the day of and reserve. It's a
Yeah.
good one. You know, we'll take reservations after 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't think it's a requirement you have to reserve, but your chances, if you want to play, you'd be wise to call and reserve a court. But if there's an empty court and there's no reservation, you can let somebody go play,
Oh,
right?
For sure.
Oh, sure.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And just so when people, since it is only a 2-hour window there on a Saturday, that way when someone, the purpose of this, I guess, was so when people come to play, they're getting a turn to play versus
Right.
the same group
So
that's
you're going to
coming.
limit it, if there's anybody waiting, you're going to limit it to 1 hour. You can't play
Yes.
more than an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if you have it booked at 2:00 and show up at 2:20, you're off the court at 3:00.
That's right.
Absolutely.
You don't
You're
go
only
to
there for
3:20.
40 minutes. That's
Right.
That's all we're trying to
And I
structure.
think by the
it a little
nominal
bit.
And it's
10
just for that
bucks a-
Saturday. Any,
Yeah.
like on Sunday, we have a pickup pickleball time from 12:30 to 3, free.
Right.
So, and Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I'm still
is-
philosophic. It's just me, and I can live with it. I think you do not want the house of protest you're going to get by charging $10.
Let's see.
Is it
All right.
only,
I'll-
is it
I'll go
only
on the
on
record.
Saturday?
Only
Only
Saturday.
on Saturday.
Yeah, for those 2 hours. Yep.
Some people go, oh, I don't want to play then, I'll play another time.
No, it's not the money. It's
Yeah.
a symbolic thing. It's a thing of, you know, the rec department, or you know, it's the age-old argument. We got all the staff. We own the facilities. We're heating them
Okay.
anyway.
All right.
What's the added cost? Why are we
Okay.
doing? You know, why are you charging me?
Why don't we look at it this way? Why don't we do it with no cost, but if you make a reservation, you do not show up, you lose your right to make a reservation.
Or if you
Yeah,
if you make a reservation, don't show up, we're going to start charging you. Or say, you know, we'll try it, but if people don't show up for their reservation time, we're going to have to you know, charge people in some way or something like that.
And you also have to decide, you're going to let people just book 1 hour or 2 hours, if someone calls at 9:30, I'll take 1, 2, 3.
Well, the goal was to have them book for 1 hour of play,
Okay.
so that way we could.
Yeah.
All right.
Because
If
we're
we
gonna run
decide to charge, what I would suggest doing is keeping the money in just a can, you know, for pickleball replacement paddles and
Yeah.
balls or something.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
fine
and
with
have
that.
a, you know,
I mean, I'm
I
good
know
either way.
keeping it off books is.
Oh, I would keep it,
pain
I
in the
would,
neck,
I would do exactly what you said, keep it and let people know that the money is going, to keep the equipment updated and keep, so there's always fresh balls.
So
to
we'd
play
like
with.
to, we'd like to stick with a fee for that Saturday. That's,
Margaret, where are you?
Now, I'm listening to both of you, and I think we should start out by saying you have to make a reservation for your hour on Saturday.
Yep.
And if you don't show up when you have a reservation, you're not going to be able to make reservations on Saturday in the future, and you may be charged in the future.
okay, so no fee, but a
No fee.
reservation.
Try it in the beginning without
Try
a fee. and
Try
then
it without a
If
fee.
it doesn't work, we're going to say, look, we're going to go to
And
a
if-
fee
and
because of.
Again, the emphasis is it's Saturday only.
Right.
Saturday is the busiest day that we have
Right.
during this,
And you got to
ski
let the
season.
little kids play. You
Yeah.
can't throw the kids out of the gym. Right. You know, make them feel guilty.
So that's
They're
gonna run during
displacing
our
kids.
climbing time. It's quiet in the gym, and
And-
those two programs can complement each
And you'll
other.
only have 2 courts going then?
Yes.
Fine.
Yeah.
All right.
And does that address the vacation weeks going forward, or do you want to do that as part of the budget discussions?
Vacation weeks moving forward is basically this, the same setup we have. It's gonna not exactly follow the schedule we have in place, but wherever we can plug in pickleball times, we've done it a number of times. Not necessarily every day of the week, but we've plugged it in.
As far as the reservation, or is it going to be just open? I'm just trying to,
Yeah.
these are other busy times.
Well, how are we going to communicate to the public what the open pickleball times are going to be during the vacation week?
Resort Insider and
Well,
website.
she's got it
Okay.
on the
All right.
website.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Now, I understand there's a group agitating now to have pickleball on Sundays or something.
Yes.
Correct.
Now, when we get around to that, I have a different, then I have a different approach to charging. If it is clear that we have to bring in staff, where we normally would not bring in staff, we're gonna, then we have a rationale for saying, look, if we wanna do this, that's fine, but we have to hire these part-timers to come and open the gym and stay there during those periods you're there. Therefore, we are going to have to charge,
Okay,
if you
Now,
get
what,
to, if
what
that's
made
where
the
you're going.
accommodation?
I'm sorry.
From what I'm hearing, you've already made the
Well,
accommodation of
for the
pickleball on
2
Sundays.
Oh, 2 Sundays in December, the
December.
15th
And
and
there'll
the
be no
22nd.
pickleball after that on Sundays?
Well,
Yes,
Yes,
in
it-
January.
Right.
In
When we
January,
go to, when we do officially open 7 days a week.
Okay, so January and February would have full-time pickleball
January, February,
Yeah.
March.
through the ski season?
yeah.
Yes, we just
Right.
have to.
But
Okay.
people who want it like in April,
They
when
might-
it's slow
Yes,
season,
and we'll
they
talk about
want it, then they're gonna have to pay for it. I'm
And
not
what we
gonna mind the
agreed
tax
to,
citizens.
price for
right, what we agreed to was the 15th and the 22nd we'll use as a test.
All right,
We'll provide staff in there, we're not gonna charge because it was a last minute thing.
Yeah.
And we will make the accommodation for the month of December. And then we'll come back and.
right, and if they have
Talk to
allowed
you in
enough,
January.
my thing will be,
Or
well,
April,
you
May.
put up a special warrant article and see if you can get the town to
Absolutely.
vote some extra money to hire some more people.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'd be some people who are gonna vote no,
Mhm.
to raise extra money for the
And what
benefit of
happens
a
on
few
the
pickleball
last
players.
It's gonna be a
Saturday
pickleball
in
picadillo.
December?
It could
It's
be.
already,
It's
it's already
already in
staffed.
there.
These were
Yeah.
additional
Oh, okay.
staffings
All right.
on the 15th and the 22nd.
Yes.
And they ought to know that too,
Right,
that there was a special accommodation
They do.
because of the interest, the
They do.
15th and the 22nd, that we're gonna put staff on that would not normally be scheduled.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll come back and see us in a month or 6 weeks and let us know how it works.
Sure.
And if this is not working out, then we'll,
Revisit it.
well, I think you'll have a rationale for why we need to charge, to bring some order to this thing. Okay,
Okay?
How's the hunt for the adult player going?
Good. Well, a little bit better here.
Yeah.
We have a posting in the New Hampshire Parks and Rec Association website, and I think that has really helped to drive some applicants our way. So right now, I believe I have 3 or 4 that have sent their information in, and then just yesterday and today, I took another email or 2 from people
Mhm.
looking for the
Margaret,
application.
I know in the past for some of these critical positions, we've had you participate. Do you have any interest
I
in
don't
doing
have
that?
to, but if you want me there, I'll be glad to do that.
I've been responding to people that there'll be a committee.
Yeah, we
Like a
we
hiring
want a
committee?
hiring board.
Yeah,
So
that
I was
would
just
be-
thinking, in the
That
past.
would be a
you've
really
done it.
good idea, is to have some of your active rec adults
Are
participate.
you guys okay with that? I mean, we have done it in the
Absolutely.
past for some of the key positions, and I see this as one of those. So we'll keep you up to date.
Super. Just don't make it during rehearsal time
No.
in January.
anything else in rec?
All the adult programs are going really well, and we've had a lot of facility rentals in throughout the fall here, closing up the year. So I think we're looking good, and it's
Good.
been nice to have all the extra traffic in the building. Oh, I actually do have one more thing. It looks like we're going to have to adjust our in times just a little bit here. So currently, right now, we close down our open gym times between 10 and 10:30 and 12 and 12:30, and we do that so
This is weekdays?
this
or-
is weekdays, yes.
Okay.
So the school can transport the kids through the gymnasium outside, and
This is the new lockdown procedures?
right. So during that time, we're not supposed to have public in the gymnasium in the bathrooms. They can wait
Right.
in the lobby. So we've had some issues now that we've had so many, not issues, but now that we actually have people coming in for the open gym times during the weekday, where they're coming in at 10:30 when our program for the open gym is supposed to start. But the school is lining up at 10:30 and then making their way through. So somewhere between 10:30 and maybe 10:40, they're coming through the building. So we're having our participants wait in the lobby, but we haven't always liked that too much.
Is the school on a fixed schedule?
They are.
Yeah, we should just make people aware that during these hours, because of school safety regulations, the
Right.
gym must be closed. you
Right,
know?
and
So
that's
plan around it.
that's what we've been communicating, but
Where are they going?
gym
To where?
to the playground.
Can't they go out the back door of the school?
They cannot because of the snow sliding on the roof, and the parking lot's a safety issue for them to walk through. So we're just going to adjust our time from 10:30 to 10:45.
If it's basic, when the kids are there, school safety is the most important priority. If that's what they want to do, we'll accommodate them.
Just wanted to mention it in case anyone questions why we went from opening at 10:30 to 10:45 or 12:30 to 12:45. So it's
Okay.
just a matter of 10 minutes or so.
Thank you for enduring this.
Yeah, right. Okay,
Well, thank you.
thank you. Mark, let's go over the budget review one more time. What are the dates and times? We're going to do this, starting
Wednesday the
at what
18th
time?
At 2
o'clock.
p.m.
At 2 p.m.
And
Okay.
then that would probably be somewhere between 2 and 5. We'd be done probably before 5. And then on
I'm just listening. 'Cause
Thursday, the
Thursday.
19th,
I'm on
you're
Wednesday.
You're on Wednesday.
So
the
what
18th.
time is that?
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So we'll start with Rachel at 2 p.m. And then,
You want us
I'll
to
break up the
hold
other departments.
Fridays or not?
no, there is not a need for Friday. It was
Okay, so
Wednesday
it's
and
Wednesday
Thursday
and Thursday.
at 2 p.m.
All right.
If we got bogged down with something where you wanted, I have Friday
Right.
available, but there's no need from my perspective. I think we can get it done in 2 days.
Okay.
All right, and I plan to send you, do you want hard copies to write on with notes?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll get you hard copies
Yeah.
of everything this time.
I think so. Reading numbers on these screens
Yeah.
can be
Yeah.
challenging, because some of them are in the wrong orientation.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep,
Right.
okay. We can, do you see a need to put anything, like, if we're gonna talk about, the websites or anything, do you want anything up on the screen? Do you want numbers up on the screen so we can make changes, see what they are, or how
It
do
works,
you want to do this?
whatever, you're essentially running the meeting and you have to present the data, whichever is easier for you. I have no need to look at overheads to look
Okay,
at the data. I mean,
That's
but
fine.
if it turns
I'm
out that
fine
that's
doing it on paper and
much
making
easier,
notes.
I mean, then by all means, go ahead.
Yep, so we'll go
These
with
are
hard
public
copies.
meetings?
Yes, well, there'll be workshops, so you can decide how much.
So they are
input-
public, are we gonna
They are
broadcast them?
I was not gonna broadcast them, we are going to.
So for
post
those
them.
out there listening, these are preliminary budget review, right?
That's correct.
Meetings, and they're a public meeting, and you are welcome to come down and sit in
Absolutely.
the gallery.
Are we
But
going
we're
to
not
rerun
gonna
old
put 'em on
meetings
TV.
during those times?
What?
We can rerun a best of reel.
Yeah, I guess we
Best
could,
of.
right?
Mike Aronson highlights.
Yeah,
I like them.
but we are not
We're not
really
gonna-
encouraging or allowing
It's totally up to you as.
participation on the part of the,
We have not in the past.
Right.
We've just posted.
okay, yeah. Well, it's gonna bog it down if we get into that at this stage. These are not budget
There will
review
be,
meetings.
there
yeah.
will be budget hearings,
Right.
which the board will have
Right.
at least once, probably the first week of February. That's our normal time to do it.
Okay, any other special meetings? Now, we've got a selectmen's meeting scheduled for the 25th. Maybe a conflict, right?
I think there's.
I
a-
could probably use getting out of the house sometime.
What are we going to hold a meeting? Are we
Well,
going to skip that meeting? What
I
are we
was
traditionally
thinking,
do?
I was thinking if you're in town, I don't know what you're doing on the 31st, but we could do it the 31st, the
Well, that's
following
New Year's
Tuesday.
Eve.
Or we could do it on the 30th if you felt you needed another meeting this month.
It might be an idea to have a meeting during vacation week, a regular meeting, just in case there are
Right.
people in
Public ones
town.
Why don't we do one on the 30th?
Yeah,
On the 30th?
Well, I think we
Fine
do
with that.
because we need to, as selectmen, we do need to go through and look at, and review Mark's performance for the year
Right.
and look at that. So we are going to need some time to do that.
And can we really publicize that one so the public knows
Absolutely.
that that's a great idea, the people that are here for ski week.
So what day do we want to move it to? That Monday, the
30th?
30th?
12:30 or?
Yeah, 12:30. I wouldn't put it on New Year's Eve.
No. 12:30.
3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Right. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Sign permit requests for the tubing and warming center. This is a 10 by,
There are two signs actually, on the building and one hanging from the bottom of the existing golf clubhouse sign.
and what are they proposing these signs to be? Are these going to be reasonably tasteful or?
a picture here.
Well,
or
they're
junk?
gonna be white, they're gonna be white foam core boards
I mean, they're not going to.
Or banners.
or
Or
banners.
banners.
Yeah, but they're gonna be made out of foam core in either case probably.
Mhm.
They're gonna be white with this logo on them. So they're not gonna be wood, they're not gonna be routed in any way or any of them.
No, no,
And
no,
they're
but,
temporary.
but
And
if
they're
they,
temporary, they'll be taken down when they,
but if they deteriorate, because of the weather
Right.
conditions or some drunk
yeah,
plows them over or something, they're committed to fixing these?
absolutely.
All right.
We'll tell them they'll have to maintain it.
Any issues with the signs here? Or-
Yeah, they're
Margaret?
just taking over.
I'm going to make a motion to approve the sign permits of, who is this, submitting this?
Ski area.
Waterville Valley Ski
Waterville
Resort.
Valley Ski Area. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right. All right. Oh, this is our chance to run for county commissioner, right?
Absolutely.
10,000 a year.
If you,
Wow, big bucks.
10,000 a year, that's right.
They are going to, I think that was fairly self-explanatory. This is,
Yeah.
if you want to be county commissioner, you have to submit a resume. The other two commissioners are going to appoint
No,
someone.
the county delegation, and those are the state representatives and senators from Grafton County.
County, and
They
they're
meet-
going to
There's
appoint
11 of
someone.
them, and they're going to meet and they're going to appoint somebody to fill that vacancy. You fill out the remaining term, which is through January of 2015. Pat, there's your chance.
$10,782.04.
And all the
Not
ham
worth
and bean
it.
dinners you can
No,
go
but
to.
yeah.
Right, and you get the leftovers from the farm. Mm.
No.
I know Pat is waiting to hear the results.
Yeah, I am. So if you do
She's
it,
here for the.
Well, let's do that. Let's
yes.
do the results of the,
and then I'll go.
Of the Holiday Lighting Awards. We had a tie for first place between Valley Inn, which we said was the best recreation of holiday home away from home. Bring your newspaper, game, or a magazine and sit in the lobby for a while. It's
Yep,
beautiful,
yep. Is it?
absolutely gorgeous.
So I'll have to go look at it.
And second was the Ray Center, best creative and fun window, encouraging curiosity about what's inside and featuring a Waterville Valley theme. So,
Those are the winners.
those were the winners.
those are the winners.
The runners-up, Toad Hall and Dreams and Visions. This is a shared award for the best use of blue-white LED lights by a business. The Black Bear Lodge, bus decoration featuring a hand-painted window mural.
Oh, really?
The Waterville Valley Recreation Department, best use of drop ceiling tiles by municipal staff. And
We have a
finally,
complaint, the library, my wife says, why didn't the library win? And I said, well, the library just didn't enter
the
and they
That
Myrick's,
should.
has nothing to do with the library
anymore. Oh, okay.
the Myrick's, best understated presentation effectively augmented by lights in a neighbor's trees.
Well, I found the story of the tree.
That's serious.
Apparently, the trees are jointly owned.
Oh,
And
Only in
this is what I was told. They
By
jointly
trees
share the
that are
cost,
jointly
and the
owned.
arrangement they have
They
is
get
the
them every other
Myrick's
weekend?
install the
Like the
lights.
kids.
The neighbor pays for the electricity.
Classic. All right, I love it. That's good.
I don't think I
Trees
understand
that are
much
We'll
with
change
Ed
that
Roberts.
to jointly owned trees.
Jointly owned trees. There you
Jointly
go.
owned trees.
Okay,
Classic.
there you go.
Oh, well, then now I gotta go take a tour of the neighborhood.
Yeah, you have to make sure you stop by. It is, I mean, because when you just go up to the front, you go, is this it? And then you walk inside, and it is, they really did a great job.
Mark, you just before we get off the budget,
Yeah.
you will try to get us preliminary stuff we're going to work at a few days before you
On
send it out?
Friday.
On Friday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
No, 2 days from tomorrow.
Tomorrow's
Not from today.
Thursday.
Tomorrow's Thursday.
All right.
Don't give me a heart attack. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And we want to talk about the assessment. We got a letter or something?
We did. I received an email from Mark Nieder. He has been contacted by the state DRA personnel who monitor our work. They noticed the same thing that we reviewed, the PRD numbers being out of the allowable range,
Meaning that ours are too low.
meaning that our PRD is too high, which means that the lower assessed properties are selling for a higher, or are assessed higher than they are selling for.
Oh, I thought it was the other
Oh,
way.
no,
I
I'm
thought it was
sorry,
the
yes,
other way
no,
around.
they are
The lower price,
selling for a higher price than they are
They're
assessed
assessed
for.
for.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So the DRA personnel told Mark that to request from us, what he did in the email,
Mhm.
to do a statistical analysis of our PRD and the values and identify why the PRD is high exactly.
and how much is this gonna cost?
Well,
Approximate.
probably a couple $1,000.
And what's the outcome of the study? I mean, he does the work,
Because we
and
just
what are we now
completed a
going to
full-
know that we don't know?
Yeah.
But I
Whether or not we need to, it'll give us an indication of whether or not we should adjust values and how much the values are out of.
just let me see if my
Yeah.
memory is correct on this whole process over the last few years.
Mhm.
If the values are out of the norm, the state can ask us to do a complete reeval and pay for a complete
Or a
reeval.
statistical analysis.
Yeah, but they,
Right.
if they're not satisfied with statistical analysis,
Yes,
they can force us to spend 50 grand.
they can't force us,
Well-
but they can tell us that we are not following proper assessing procedures. And that's
Right.
not good if you go to the Board of Tax and Land Appeals and stuff like that. If you have people who are taking you to court over values and you have not done what DRA wants you to do, it's not gonna reflect, but they don't have any statutory authority to make us
force
do it.
us.
So is this an indication that the full study, which we completed, what, in 2012? Did we
A full
complete,
study in 2012.
that it's already that far out of
Yes,
date?
it was out of date when we put the numbers in, because the market is changing.
Because,
That's
because
why we
property values are
Right.
going up again.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
flip-flopping
They are.
around,
They're
and
flopping all
it
over.
would be
Yes.
to our
Absolutely.
advantage not to do anything.
I agree, though.
Until it tries to stabilize, because
That's
we
right.
could do it again right now, and if home prices escalate again, because I don't think the home price increase that we're seeing, like in the suburban areas outside of Boston and southern New Hampshire, has yet really hit the secondary market at all. I mean, I don't think it's been an uptick in secondary market prices.
Not
And there
Well,
very
for
well
us,
could
it's
be.
been about 4 or 5% over the last year and a half.
Yeah,
but
that's
that's
not
not
the
the way-
25
no,
that
I
other
know.
areas
There's
are
another-
experiencing.
There's
Yeah.
another bubble coming, absolutely.
Well, it could be. You know, you don't know. So
So,
I think
well, he can do this within the content, we do not have to
We don't have to
increase the
provide this to
budget.
anybody.
And we don't have to provide it to anybody, no. This is information for you.
But outcome of this, basically, he's going to say, I've looked at it,
Yes.
and they're right. Amongst the lower priced properties, we're probably undersized by X amount. The only thing you could add is based on the relatively few number of resales, the data is thin.
Right.
You know, I don't know how many resales that this was based on, but that's what he's really going to look at.
Right.
Do I have enough to actually make a solid conclusion?
That's right. And I mean, as we have been showing in the budget reports, he didn't use anywhere, we do not have to change our budget
Right.
under assessing to do this work. He did not use, we don't have any outstanding abatement requests to speak of. So I'm comfortable that he can do it within the budget. It's probably gonna be maybe a couple thousand more than we would have spent in 14, but it's not gonna change
But I think I see Bill's point.
the budget.
He's gonna tell us what we know already.
But we're gonna be able to tell DRA that we had him look at it, and we're doing what they're recommending we do.
Right.
We do not have to change any values as a
Right.
result of this.
And
But
how
we
much
are
is
doing-
this is going to cost us? 5,000.
I'll get the exact number
Get
from
the
Mark.
exact number, but I mean,
and
if
give
it's
it to you next
5,000,
week,
I'm
but
okay.
I don't
I
think
would
it'll
think it'd
even
be
be
less.
5,000.
Whatever the number, yeah.
But I'll get a number.
But if it starts to get into serious. Now, let me just ask you a question. If using just statistical data alone from sales,
Yeah.
could we use that to go and say, you know, for units under $300,000, it's clear that we should in fact increase these by, on average, 10%. Take the old data, just shove them up 10?
That's correct. And we have
Really?
done that type of statistical analysis before.
Kind of shoddy.
In between,
Very
no.
Because
No, it's the standard.
Well, I
Between
understand
revals-
it.
No, between revals, we have identified
Pockets
neighborhoods
of-
or types of units that have had to be adjusted because their sales were outstripping the rest of the community.
I would
And
guess
we have
he
done
does
that.
not have enough sales
Well,
to
we
make
probably
us valid
No,
statistical.
it doesn't, and the multipliers
But-
on the lower end properties is so vast that if something
Absolutely.
is, say, a set sells for 6,000 over its value, there's a 10% adjustment.
DRA is trying to shoehorn us into a much larger community that we do
Right.
not fit the bill. And I think that it's, in order to maintain and make them say that we are doing it quote unquote correctly or appropriately, I think this is very short money to be able to
I
say
would
that.
only caution him to
And not
start the
change
study
nothing.
with taking a look with how much data exists. Because if there's less, if his sample size is less than 20 properties,
Right.
he doesn't have anything to draw any conclusions with. You know, and he may be able to write that in there, say, you know, we've looked at this, there were only 18 property sales.
Yeah.
That just is not enough data to be able to draw any conclusions at
Which I
this
think
time.
is,
And be
that's
done with it. I mean, it's an afternoon's work. you
right,
know?
and I think that's why he's suggesting,
Right.
Mark says in here, to do it on an hourly basis.
Right,
And so
right.
we would pay the absolute minimum if
Right.
he got to that point and said,
Right.
I don't have enough.
That's
to
where
do
I'd
it."
have him start,
So-
take a look, does he have enough data to draw any conclusion at all?
Right,
And my guess is,
yeah.
he's probably, unless he's, I don't know, he's
Hey, we
he's
did a
selling a lot of
reval.
condos in here.
We did a reval with
no.
80 sales, and that's like,
There are,
that's nothing. You know, and that's the problem we have with our single-family homes,
Right.
you know.
No,
we
there
don't
aren't
have
a lot
any
of sales in the
data,
whole
so
town.
it's very
Yeah.
thin.
So,
Okay,
okay.
and IT projects, end of year.
so we're gonna wait for him to get back to us with approximate cost before we vote on it?
Yes,
Okay.
we'll do it on the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, we just started collecting payments for taxes online today
After the
Okay.
season.
after the season. And with the final integration point is going to be utility billing as well. So we'll be looking to do that at this point, probably shortly after the new year. Then beyond that, we've been researching and discussing different website options because I know that there's been an interest in redoing the website, integrating some additional services into the site.
Right.
So we've actually spoken at length with the people from virtual towns and schools, they built and maintain the Holderness site. I think you've expressed that you enjoyed that one.
It's a small sample, but I thought it was pretty good.
Yep. So we have a fee for an initial development and build, and then fees for the recurring annual expenditures associated with maintaining the site.
Okay.
It's about $4,750 for the design build, 10-week process. They'd work with us to create both the appearance of the site and the functionality of the site that we want, integrate these payment portals, integrate the social media, the mail lists, so on and so forth. And then beyond that, it's approximately $3,500 annual fee to support that on the back end, update the site, maintain the site, and also the email archives and some things that we are not currently doing.
Yeah. I remember when we got into this with the resort associations, and it's not the cost of creating them, but it's the ability to maintain them over time.
That's right.
And but the frustration became they couldn't get the people who were doing the contract to do the maintenance. You know, they were always late, or it turned out it couldn't be done. You know, it was one of those things, and there was a lot of questioning about some of the very routine stuff, why we just couldn't do that updating ourselves. So are you just starting these discussions with them?
Nope, I've discussed it at length, and in the past few years, the entire methodology for designing and maintaining a website has changed. Previously, you'd pay a designer to code a website in program code. That person would be responsible for maintaining it,
Right.
hosting it, and doing updates.
Right.
Now we use content management systems. So this organization would build our site in Drupal, which is a free open source content management system. They have the skills, the design expertise to build and integrate the functionality we want. In terms of their annual support, as the content management system that is used to support it gets updates on the back end, increased functionality, they support all that. They would teach us, and then I would work with everyone here to be able to do incremental updates. We would post our own selectmen meeting minutes. We would post our own documents, flyers,
Right.
all of that stuff here on site as a staff.
All right. Could you, is it possible that they could give us a representative sample of, I know they're not going to have an Waterville Valley one, but hey, you know, and you could come and give us a demonstration. This is the kind of work they do and the kinds of things we might do. I think it would be helpful if as selectmen we could get just a visual picture of these are some of the things that are possible. One of the things I liked about the Holderness thing is I could say, oh, well, that's neat what they're doing. You know, these are some things we could do that we're not doing. You know, like you could get you could get all the town records that you wanted.
Right.
Just about any document the town that was in the public record became available on that website, and you could go down and get them easily. So could you do that? Could you ask and pick one? And
Of course,
Yeah,
they
you
maintain
can
over,
pick five. How many do they have? 100, 200?
just here in New Hampshire, I think it's 60 that they,
But they have.
but literally hundreds in New
Yeah.
They
England.
must come in and do sales presentation.
If you'd like them to come in and do that, we could certainly arrange that.
would be-
I think it'd be fine. I think
I
we
think
might
that would
look
be
at
a
it.
good thing, as
Yeah,
opposed
I
to
think
us
so, yeah.
individually checking out some of these links and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. I think
Sure.
it'd be good for them to come in and
Okay, so
just give a presentation. And
I might add one thing about the website right now, is that its presentation and its build is based on whatever staff member knows best about technology,
Right.
right? And that's why over the last 10 years, its various iterations have not been what you might find from a professional development company.
Right.
Right now, it's built as such by me, with software owned by me on my computer.
Right.
There's no sustainability in it. If I were to leave tomorrow, you would immediately lose the ability to update the site.
Right.
Now, I'm not suggesting that I'm leaving tomorrow by any means, but this forward-looking plan builds a sustainable site that can be representative of the community indefinitely into the future.
Right.
But what if we terminate our arrangement with these people? Is it proprietary and do we lose?
Which people?
If we chose to go with these people,
Do they own the intellectual property?
Right, there you go.
Or do we?
yes.
There were two
Them
questions.
or us?
Never us.
Them.
So the day we stop hiring them, our website goes dark.
That's correct. That's correct.
See,
They,
think about that.
I thought part of this IT position was to have you create a website that the town would own, and the town would manage, and it would be the town's forever. That's just my thought was part of.
That's what we have right now.
I understand, but what we're hearing now, and this is the reality, that if Tom leaves, the website goes with him.
No,
No,
no, the
Well, no.
website,
but the
No,
ability to
but
update
The
it.
ability to update it, yeah.
there is no one else on staff
that's
that has
capable
the
of doing it.
ability that Tom has
Right.
to update it. We can learn how to do it, and we own the website. He doesn't take the
Oh,
website with him.
right,
Yeah,
right.
no, I understand that. It's the knowledge of controlling the website is the ownership of the website.
But I don't
It's
think,
we can own
But that
something,
used
but
to
if we
be
can't
all-
find the keys to it, it doesn't
No,
matter.
it used to be Holly would
Right.
change things on the website. Sharon's
No.
updated some
Yeah.
stuff, but when Tom came in,
Right.
he took over
I understand,
responsibility
but I
for
think one of
updating.
our goals as we brought into with creating this position is that we create our own website that is controlled by ourselves and not just say Tom. It could be controlled by all of us. So if Tom leaves, we make a change. We're not in that situation.
well, there's a couple things that I would point out, because I've dealt with hiring companies like this in a couple of different capacities. For instance, the Ray Center selected a company like this to be the company that they used for their donor software database.
Mm-hmm.
The Ray Center controls everything that goes into their database. What they get as service is this company, if there are software updates, they take care of that, or if there are any
Right.
questions about how you use the software. Does that mean that they're linked into that company forever? No, but it means if you make a change, you got to do the assessment of the cost-benefit
Right.
assessment of what's it take to switch from one to another.
Right.
And I don't think it's any different than what you're proposing. Same thing with the payroll system.
Yeah.
You know, if you go out and you hire
Absolutely.
somebody to run a payroll system, you don't actually own the software. They're the ones that are
Right.
making the money
Right.
because they built the software and they're
Right.
responsible for it, but you own all the data and you work with the program inside. So I don't think we should throw away the idea of not having a professional on the software and background because we won't own the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll own everything in it.
Oh, no, I
Yeah.
see what you're saying.
And
Yeah.
even just 5 or 10 years ago, it was a different environment. You would have, as I said, someone code it. The cost to build the website would be $20, $30, or $40,000.
Right. They're
right?
charging nothing.
That's
to
right. Now that
actually
you're using the
create
content management systems, they're somewhat pre-formed. They have the design aesthetic and capability, and then it allows us, on the day-to-day maintenance in terms of posting all the information,
Right.
the ability to do so. On the back end, they support it. They host it from their web server, right? We don't have a web server that we host to the internet from. That's a service we currently pay for third party as is. We design it in-house right now, but I ultimately put it up onto a third-party web server who hosts it to the world.
Right.
Okay.
But I
Let's have them come in
wouldn't-
and let's talk
Yeah,
about it.
I'd love to see
Let's-
them come in and just do a personal
Right.
demonstration instead of us just going and looking at websites. And
Excellent.
that type of thing.
Excellent.
We'll do
Okay.
it for the 30th if we can, and if not, it'll be the first meeting. in
Or
May.
no, the
Yeah.
first, I mean, it's not.
Right.
Well, our only thing is,
Communications budget.
that's right, I wanted to try to utilize the money that we've already appropriated. And if we can make a
2013.
decision on the 30th to do that, I can get a contract in place. That'll be a 2013 contract.
Yeah. We can't,
But if we can't, then we'll
right,
just
you
put the
can't
money-
let time drive,
No,
I hear you,
it
but we can't
won't,
let
but-
time just drive the
No.
decision. That'll end up with a bad decision. But if it's clear that they come
Right.
in that, wow, this understands and yeah, this is something we want to do, then I don't have a
And I think addressing questions like what happens if the town doesn't appropriate the money in a given year and we're done
We're
with
gonna
the
just,
annual.
we're gonna put it in the operating
I mean,
budget.
this is the same, yeah, but this is the same issue that we face with our maps, our tax maps. it's the same issue that we face with our assessing, any of our third-party assessing software, our billing software, our collection software. I mean, these are all agreements that we have, that if we don't renew the agreements with these companies, we're gonna have to go out and find somebody else.
But historically,
Or
the
we
town has never pushed back against not renewing this. I mean, it's not like we go to town meeting and they say, well, get rid of the assessing software. I mean,
No.
and I don't suspect we're gonna get, if as selectmen, we say this is the right way to go,
Mhm.
that people, when they look at the website, say that's something I'm proud of,
Right.
I don't see us
No.
having a problem with it.
No, no.
I mean, if we do the right
at all.
thing,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I don't see us having an issue with that.
Well, virtual town hall, I ended up talking to him at the NHMA conference because he built the Holderness site, which is the one we talk about all the time as kind of the gold standard.
Well, it was
And-
just good.
Well, no,
yeah,
and that's why I'm saying
Right.
it seems to have the functionality that we
Right.
want, and it seems to present the way that we want it to. That's why we talked to virtual town hall. There are other vendors out here,
Right.
but this guy has a very good track
Okay.
record in New Hampshire, so.
He just,
Where-
you look at it and, you say, boy, this must be a sharp town.
Well, no,
That's
I
your
mean,
reaction
it's
when you walk
the same
away.
thing in Belmont.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got Belmont, he's
Yeah.
got, I mean, there are a lot of communities
Yeah.
out there. Huh?
It's curb appeal.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
Right,
it's
Absolutely.
your first impression.
I have one other question relative to the tax. I was surprised because I went and actually used it this year to pay my automobile things, right?
Mhm.
And I was surprised to find out that, I thought it was just going to be credit card, that you have an option to actually put in your bank transit routing
Yes,
information
ACH.
and
Right.
direct,
ACH.
and just do a direct payment transfer.
Right, and that's only $1.95 to do that.
Now, here's my question. We charge $1.95.
Right.
Right. What do we charge? Do we charge anything to manually process when we receive a check?
We
It's
can't.
costing us a lot more than $1.95.
We can't, we're not allowed to statutorily.
Really?
That's why we set up
We
these.
can put a fee against an automated transfer like that, but we can't put a fee upon servicing it manually, which has
No.
got to be more
Well, no,
time consuming.
it's a fee to that company, it is not a fee to the town. If we put a fee on it to collect it here and process it, that would be to the town.
If
This-
we made a decision that we are no longer going to process our own checks,
Yes,
that we're going to use an outside company.
Yes.
So anything get mailed to Box 500 actually goes to some other
a
post office.
lockbox
They do all the
service.
posting, accounting for.
Mhm.
Can
There are
and
towns
they
that do
charge
that.
and can then we charge citizens a fee for doing it that way?
Only as long as that fee goes directly to the company
Yes,
and
if it
does
goes to the
not come
company.
to us.
Mhm.
That's correct, we can.
The
As
town
we
doesn't
get
receive
under
any.
always administrative pressure types of workloads, and you're the one that has to think, you should not dismiss that, because the notion of we're going to move this service out of the town's purview, because then that fee will be a lot higher than the $1.95 that it costs you to give them the bank transit routing information. See what I'm saying? I mean, right now, it's the cheapest way to pay your tax bill is to walk in here with a check, which is the one thing
Or
we
mail it.
prefer them not to do.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Well, we like the money, but, right?
I
Silly.
don't know, Sharon likes to see me.
Do you?
I'd like to see him. And the dogs.
Yeah.
Do people ever come in with cash? Here's
Not very
$4,000.
No, not to
I-
pay
I
the
did
tax
have that. I
bill.
did have that in one of the towns, one of the other towns. I was a tax collector. I had a guy that would pay in 20s only. No, I'm serious. He would come in with piles of 20s.
Sometimes with card
Had
registrations,
huge- Had huge properties.
they pay
in the town.
cash.
I mean, tens of thousands of dollars, and we'd sit there for hours counting.
If we can get to a certain critical mass where people are doing it online, I think we should just look at getting us out of the business of, maybe hiring a contractor to do it. Only because I know you keep pushing that that the administrative staff is overworked.
Yeah, I understand. Yep, we
Right.
can, those
I'm not-
services aren't cheap, though. You think they're gonna be cheaper than administrative staffs in the long run? You think that those services are gonna be cheaper
Yes.
than doing it ourselves?
Yeah, because that differential in price will drive people to do it online for no cost. See, my goal would be to get
But
everybody
they
to
won't
pay their
have no
taxes
cost.
online.
They're gonna be paying the service provider.
I understand.
Right.
But I'm saying, but if they've got to pay a fee of $10 to the service provider, and it's
Yeah.
only $2 to do it via a credit card or some other mechanism online, they'll choose to use
Do
the
it
credit
online.
card or the other way.
I see.
Nice, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, yeah, I see.
It's right now, we have an inverse incentive.
I see,
Mhm.
okay.
Okay. I don't know how we got down that discussion, but anyway, whatever. Correspondence? None?
EVP?
EVP's, letter.
They want, what is their letter? They want us to,
Well, no, they
I
don't-
read it,
they
they're kind of
don't want
informing us
They're informing us.
that it
That-
would cost money to put the
Yeah.
show up.
And I have confirmed with the WVRA and the ski area that nobody is paying this, and this service will not happen this ski season, starting now, basically starting at the Christmas holiday.
It was nice while it lasted.
There were years when it was very entertaining.
Especially now that it's on 82.141, where I don't even know what dial to turn to get to that.
We have to program your TV to come in at 82 or 83, and then it goes
Yeah.
to 82 or 83.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Well, I mean, were they suggesting the town might want to do this?
I have no idea. The first I saw this was in this package. And it
When Don Hyde
I
came
thought they would have been
in
here
to tell
today.
me, no, when Don Hyde came in to tell me that they were not going to be supported by the ski area or the resort association, Tom and I actually met with him because we were talking about our public access channel. And I asked him to put together what the pricing was that we were talking about for this service. Because we currently have, well, whether you go to channel 82 or 83, there is running on that right now, I believe, some, like a PowerPoint slide presentation with some general information, right, Tom? From what Don said, it was like a PowerPoint.
It's a little more than a PowerPoint, but it's similar. It's a
Banner,
ticker at the bottom,
ticker at the bottom.
rotating ads on the
Yeah.
right hand side, and a little
Like Channel 3
Slide.
was before.
right.
But
That's
they're
right.
not going to update even that anymore?
They are not gonna update that.
Then I
anymore.
think we should probably, the only thing that I would suggest is they need to turn it off. There's no sense running a banner with old information.
Well, this is the discussion. If the, as I understand it, if the town chooses not to step in,
Right. they
then
won't
the
have-
channel will go dark,
Okay.
and that'll be the end of it.
Is this the one that has the little hidden cam up there that shows the ski hill?
This is not that.
Okay.
No, there is
No, this is
another. Okay.
No privilege of the floor. Any other boards' concerns, directives?
Only non-public now.
Going to go into
This one.
non-public for the purpose of reviewing some
Non-public
merit
stuff.
requests, right?
Yep.